Welcome back, Piglets, to another installment of Culture by the Uncultured. We are your fantastic hosts, Daniel, DJ, and Taylor B. I know it's been a while, guys, but today we actually, it's pretty cool. We actually have DJ here in-house with us. You know, me, DJ, and Daniel are together, and we get to, share our thoughts for a couple of things that happened. I know we missed a couple of weeks, kind of had some family emergencies as well as illness, so don't hold it against us, please. But today we're probably, for the most part, we're pretty much going to talk about a lot of stuff that's been happening in the media as far as or not media, but entertainment, as far as movie trailers, maybe potentially movies and music and stuff like that. Just where do you guys want to start? Do you guys want to start out with music, movie trailers coming out? And there's a lot of stuff to talk about for sure.
I think the most that we have to talk about would probably be the music because there's so many things people were waiting on.
So you guys want to start there first then, and then we'll finish it up with everything else?
Yeah, I think that's a good starting point.
All right, for sure. Well, first and foremost, a lot of music has been dropping this year, 2020, start of the brand new decade. Just to name a couple albums that have dropped, we got Dreamville's Revenge of the Dreamers 3 Deluxe Edition. That one actually, I don't believe it had any features from J. Cole, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. Sir Michael Rocks dropped a brand new album. He's one of the members of the Cool Kids. Broken Windows Opportunity. Mac Miller came out with Circles, but posthumously, of course. Great album. Lil Wayne, he dropped Funeral, Russ, Shake the Globe, Eminem, Music to Be Murdered By, and a plethora of other, songs and albums have come out since then as well. Let's start off with Revenge of the Dreamers 3, since, a lot of us, had that in our top 5 at least of last year. What do you guys think of the deluxe version?
I was only messing with a couple of songs on there. That Big Black Truck, that was my joint. The rest of them, I already forgot the names of them. I forgot who was on them. It's unfortunate. I feel like these were like the leftovers that they were just kind of, just throw those in there and we'll just resell the whole project again. But I feel like when you watch that documentary, there were so many songs you're like, oh, well, I wonder what happened to that. Well, this is it.
For sure. I agree with that too.
I kind of feel like, just like how Daniel said with all the stuff, they basically made it on the cutting room floor. For the most part, I think there was 8 tracks out of the new, I think it was 12 that they came out with. There's 8 tracks that I kind of vibed with. I actually liked Buss It and Revenge with Ari Lennox. But I vibe with it a little bit. I'm more into that chill vibe kind of lyrical kind of stuff. So that's definitely, I liked it, but I kind of felt like they were just trying to capitalize off of the success of the first album that dropped. I mean, don't get me wrong, I don't mind, but I don't think they needed a re-release. I think this all could have been perfectly fine on an EP. There's a bunch of bands that do EPs, and there's a bunch of people that do EPs just to give their fans something else to look forward to. This kind of just felt like it was riding off the coattails of everything that came before. Like, they were good songs, but I mean, it wasn't up to the caliber of what the whole album was when it first released, for my taste at least.
I have mixed thoughts about this album. This is new 12 songs. They sound pretty good overall. I haven't really gone back to listen to them again yet, but overall, one of the things I felt was that it was too late. That was one of the things that kind of felt like hindered it. I mean, Revenge of the Dreamers came out in what was that? The middle of, I want to say 2019, if that, maybe a little bit earlier in 2019. And for this to come out so long, 6 months at least afterwards, I just feel like it was a little bit too late as far as the hype for it or anticipation for it. I remember seeing something about it on Twitter, oh, don't forget, we ain't forgot about that deluxe edition or something. And, when it finally came out, cool. I also felt like that this was an attempt at a second shot at the Grammys. I don't know if it counts as a separate album because it is it's just a deluxe version of a previous album. But if it does, then this gives Revenge of the Dreamers 3 a second chance at going to the Grammys for next year, which is fine or whatever. Like I said, it's a great album. It's definitely not bad at all. There's nothing wrong with it. It's cool to see other artists get a little bit more chance to shine because a lot of the artists that were featured in the original album, they were on one song maybe, and now there was more features, there were more songs. You could hear other people collaborating together that you didn't get to hear before, which I thought was really cool. But like I said, I haven't really gone back to it just because, trying to give everybody else a chance. That's about it for that one. What about, have you guys heard the new Sir Michael Rocks album?
I have not. I didn't even know that was out until you just mentioned that.
Oh, yeah. Wow. So okay, I'm a huge Cool Kids fan. Kind of been following them for a while. More specifically, Sir Michael Rocks. I'm a huge fan of him. He has dropped, solo albums left and right. Chuck English has went on to work with other artists, which is cool. He's a fantastic producer, makes great beats, and he also contributes to pretty much any song he's on to lyrically. Got a chance to see them in person last year or 2 years ago, I want to say, somewhere on that time frame. They're pretty dope live. This will be, I think, his 4th solo album. He has Banco, he has Popular, he has, and 2 more albums after that. I can't remember what they're called. But this album specifically, though, Broken Windows Opportunity, it is great. It is phenomenally done. The beats are on fire. The lyricism is great. He has fun when he raps. It's not just like a bunch of serious stuff. He's like got storytelling down. This guy's breaking down flipping houses for you off the first track. It called Open the Vault, by the way. Like, he got me. I got super hyped when I started hearing. I was like, this man's spitting about some real shit. Really out here trying to help people get some money. What? So, I mean, definitely, look into that when you get a chance. It's dope. I highly recommend it. Mac Miller with Circles. Would y'all feeling the album? Y'all want to get into that posthumous bag real quick?
I felt like sorry to cut you off, but I feel like we talked a little bit about it in one of our earlier episodes. We had a little conversation about posthumous albums. We talked, especially because that's when, a little bit after when X had passed away, and then we talked about it again when Juice WRLD passed away. I think that it's, as an album, I like it. It's definitely something that it seems as though it was in the works for a while prior to him obviously passing so suddenly. I don't know if I would have given it a listen, though, if I did not. If I would have never found out that he passed away, I probably wouldn't have given it a listen unless it just came out of nowhere. Because I'm not a huge Mac Miller fan. Obviously, he gets more air. Once someone dies, they obviously get a lot more airplay. A lot of fake fans come out and say that they've been with him for the longest time. So
Casual. I
was willing to give it a listen, but I mean, it was all right. I definitely wouldn't have found it on my own, though.
Super chill vibes.
Oh, yeah.
It's an album that, like, just kind of like how I go in like my everyday life. I could definitely listen to it again, especially if I'm like trying to relax or like go to sleep or something. It's super chill. That's what I enjoy the most about it. My favorite song being Complicated, because I feel like everything is always, why does everything have to be so freaking complicated?
Yeah.
That's just me personally. But I like the album. Like I said, I have for this one, there's another one that I haven't gone back to yet, but I do appreciate it, and I definitely will go back to it at some point. Just, tons of music, tons of stuff to do, but I will go back to it for sure. What about you, Daniel?
It's definitely not the type of Mac Miller I like. I like the groovy Mac more so than the vibey Mac.
For sure.
So it was a little bit slow for me. Like, I actually did try to go through it just because I am such a Mac fan. But it just, me in the slow music, I have to listen to something that's going to keep me hyped, that's going to keep me going.
Yeah, we be driving all day. Got to stay hype.
And so, yeah, this album definitely wasn't doing that for me. So I have to give it a pass for me.
Well, let me let you start off this next one, Eminem's Music to Be Murdered By, because I know that's your boy.
He was using way too many napkins once again. Back at it. Yeah, first of all, I absolutely got surprised by this album again. I hate when he does it because I'm usually asleep when I figure it out, and then I have to like levitate out of bed pretty much to be like, oh yeah, it's got an album out. But I definitely like it. I actually like this a little bit more than Kamikaze, but I definitely like how some of these songs, they're kind of like shout outs to Revival, because a lot of people hated Revival, but he used some of the same rhyme patterns, used some of the same songs. I feel like not the actual the same songs, but I feel like he used some of the same concepts that he used.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, everybody liked it again after Kamikaze came out. But I definitely like the way he always does good with the flow, always does good with the rhyme schemes. I can't believe this person can think that much. It's ridiculous, because when you hear him talk in his little interviews, you're like, there's no way this is the same dude that's rapping. It's the same dude that's talking. But I definitely love all the features on here, all the Slaughterhouse guys. I love that they put Black Thought on here, because every time I have this conversation with somebody like on YouTube or just in person in general, they always want to bring up Black Thought. He ain't better than Black Thought. Ladies and gentlemen, he's better than Black Thought, and he just showed you.
DJ, you want to go ahead?
Yeah, I'll go ahead. So I definitely was also completely surprised by this album release. Other than when Kamikaze came out, I really didn't give it that much attention, just because the only time I listened to it was for this podcast in particular, just to get prepared for the type of information. And when this one dropped, I think I gave it a little bit more love. I definitely like a couple of tracks on there. For me, it felt like there was some tracks that just brought me back to when we heard songs like Toy Soldiers and when we heard songs back when I first started listening to Eminem a long time ago. So, I mean, like definitely Leaving Heaven, In Too Deep. Everyone knows Godzilla, obviously. It's getting massive radio play right now, especially since everyone likes to hear someone spit fast. And whenever it comes to Eminem, you just know that no one's going to basically compete with him in most cases, at least in my idea. I definitely like the album. Would I listen to it all the time? Definitely not. I'm more into the chill vibes. And even though I just said that I didn't like Mac Miller's album, I really feel as though I would listen. There's definitely times and places where I definitely listen to this album. I just don't think it's an album that I personally would put on and just play the whole album.
For sure.
Like this next album we're going to talk about definitely is one of those albums, but this one, I like it. It's not what I'm used to.
Hater.
For me personally, me being Taylor B, it was cool. Like I was like into it like the first half of the album. The second half I was kind of worn out by all like the like the lyrical exercise that he was putting on. I really did appreciate the fact that he had Juice WRLD on there, and I appreciated it even more because I believe his photographer, Juice WRLD's photographer, he put in a picture talking about showing the night that he recorded this verse for Eminem. So it's not the same thing as like Lil Wayne when, he said that he didn't know who XXXTentacion was, but he still had him on the Carter 5 anyway. Eminem was definitely aware of Juice WRLD's talent and made a track with him. And he was going to be on his next album probably regardless, whether he passed away or not. I didn't. The only thing was it that same track he was like talking about drugs or something on there. I didn't. That was kind of a little bit bittersweet, and I was just kind of like, but it's like that's what he was talking about. So it is what it is. It's fine. But I like you said, nobody can really beat Eminem with the lyrical exercise for the most part. He just goes on and on and on. And as far as like in that regard, I can never say Eminem is making like a terrible album. He's always going to deliver us like his ability, whether we like it or not, is purely on us.
Yeah.
But his ability is never lacking.
Unquestioned.
Yeah. It's like, it's there. It's like, you may not care what he's talking about or whatever, but he's rapping, like he, like to like in its purest form, he's rapping. Next though, Lil Wayne, speaking of, the posthumous, features, Lil Wayne's funeral album came out. A lot of people were stoked about the artwork or whatever because he turned it upside down. It says Lil Wayne. He turned it the other way. It says funeral. Ooh, cool. I was vibing with it at first until definitely the biggest one that did it for me was another XXXTentacion feature. No.
Yeah.
A million more times no. I can't even fathom the thought process that goes into, hey, I didn't know this guy. It probably looks terrible that I put him on my album and said that I didn't know him. Let me put him on another album. He's still dead. Let me just put him on another album now. And I probably still don't know much about him. You can definitely learn about somebody after they're dead. Don't get me wrong. That's fine. You can, glorify somebody after they die. You can become a huge fan of somebody after they die. It's possible and it happens all the time. But I don't think that essentially working the man while he's dead it's not a good look. It's not a good look at all. The kid's dead. Let him rest. Let these albums that they're dropping for him. They're not. I'm sure he wanted them to come out to some degree, but a lot of this stuff sounds unfinished. It's not ready. It just doesn't. It's not ready. It's not finished. Don't do that. Don't put the work out there like that unless you just want to do it for like for no money or nothing. Fine. But when you're putting it out there for monetary gain, I don't think it's right at all. And then his rhymes are cool. The only song that I really liked was, I think it was called Mamma Mia or something. That song was like, he was having fun. It was a cool little beat. He was going pretty hard with the rhyming. I was like, okay, this is cool. Other than that, the album was like, I'd probably give it like a 6 at best.
Really?
6, 7 maybe at best. 6 for sure, at least.
I'm surprised you got that high. That was a tough listen for me. Because I feel like Lil Wayne is one of those people that you're like, you need to retire. Not to be blasphemous or anything, because he was definitely great when he was great, but I feel like he's at the point of his life where he's not experiencing anything new. He's not talking about anything new. He's not. I know that you like the e-vagina. Like, I know you like to skateboard. It's like, okay, what else are you going to offer the listener at this point?
He needs to stop rapping about drugs too. We have lost way too many rappers in the recent years due to drugs. For him to just still be rapping crazy about like, then he said something about like doing codeine and fucking and Percocets or something. I was just like, bro, are you dumb? Like, come on, man. Like that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yeah, in 2020, that's definitely something we need to definitely get away from, especially with people like J. Cole and Kendrick Lamar like talking against that and trying to get the youth to be better in 2020 and beyond. He definitely needs to ease back on that.
Yeah, I could definitely. So for me personally on this album, when I first gave it a listen, I gave it my first listen yesterday, actually, to be honest. The X track, I actually did not like X's flow at all. I felt like it was old X. It wasn't the one that he was trying to make himself better and get better with his life. It felt like it was old school X where he was super screaming, dark. Super dark. It wasn't his normal dark. But I will say at least the first couple tracks for this album I actually did like. It started off super chill, super like I could vibe with the first. I guess you can say half. Well, half is like 12 of these tracks because there's 24 tracks, but I can say probably like the first fourth or third of this I can vibe with. But overall, I mean, I agree with you. It's not that I'm getting tired of Lil Wayne. I don't want to say I'm getting tired of Lil Wayne because we kind of grew up with Lil Wayne.
Just for the record, I've never been like a huge Lil Wayne fan. He's just been kind of like, a lot of people can vouch for this too. I will listen to him, but not like I don't have any songs from him saved onto my phone.
Not a single.
Not
song.
A
million, not 6 foot, 7 foot.
No. Those are good songs, don't get me wrong. I just have never been the biggest Lil Wayne fan.
Yeah. I mean, personally, I personally feel as though this is better than the Carter 5. But I'm also talking that this isn't a really good album. It's just a decent album.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of agree with you guys on the fact that he should probably not. I don't expect him to retire and go away. I mean, he could go back to producing music and helping mentor the next generation onto being what the music should be, to give them the formula. But I do agree we probably should take a step back from all the drugs, all the codeine, everything like that. With all the losses that we've had in the last year, I mean, it's a year and a half now. It's been like we've lost a lot of major people in music that could have had a bigger influence. And some, like for example, Juice WRLD. Kid wasn't even 21 yet. We already lost him. But anyway, that's all I had to say.
He actually had just turned 21.
Yeah.
Like a couple of days prior. It's crazy. Last but not least, as far as albums, as far as I've heard of or have like paid attention to, the Russ album, Shake the Globe. I haven't got to listen to the whole thing, unfortunately, but from what I did listen to, it is definitely enjoyable. I have not been the biggest Russ fan at all. He's somebody that kind of like, I know like the internet is popular to say Russ is an L or Russ takes an L or whatever. The man's out here making his money and the man's out here rapping his butt off, you know. He's definitely can spit. And I definitely want to listen to more of his album. It was fun for me. It wasn't boring. It wasn't just super chill vibes. It was some you know, you'll keep your head up a little bit, you know. It was good.
I feel like this was one of those albums to where I actually got to learn something about the artist a little bit here. I'm gonna go out on a limb and just say I think Russ might be the king of melodies. Every song there was a different melody. Every different song that I listened to, like I caught myself wanting to sing along to the chorus, even if I didn't know the words. But I found myself humming some of these songs when I got through. Even that interlude Nightfall, I had that on repeat for like a good hour and a half today. Like, I'm not gonna lie.
Does he still do all the production, all the lyrics and all that stuff? Like, because I know like that's like was his thing. Like he does everything himself. Does he still do that? Do you know?
From what I know, I think he still does. I'm not completely sure on that. Don't quote me on that.
For sure.
I definitely like having Rick Ross on there. The other features I wasn't really feeling. It's not because I don't know them, but it's more like I didn't really like their style on the track. You guys might have a different opinion on those guys, but I definitely love the Rick Ross song. That's probably one of my favorites on there, to go along with Nightfall and Patience.
Yeah, I'd have to definitely agree with you on that one. I liked Patience, and I also liked the Rick Ross feature on Guess What. But ultimately,
that song was fire.
For the rest of the album, though, I really didn't feel like I couldn't really vibe with it. I think that the music's okay, but I really didn't vibe with this album that much at all. Like I said, Patience and Guess What were, for me, the two bright spots. After that, I dropped it. I really didn't feel like, I didn't make it all the way through. I think I stopped at like track number 10. There's only 14 tracks and there's not a lot of time in a lot of these songs. I'm kind of sad because we're going away from the longer tracks. I definitely, since I was a rock fan, I definitely am used to listening to songs that are 8 to 14 minutes long in a lot of metal and hard rock tracks. So definitely for me, getting used to a minute and a half, 2 minute tracks is definitely something that's being kind of hard for me. So I dropped the album after a little bit. It's not that I didn't like it. It's just I couldn't vibe with it. Especially right now, I have some stuff going on. I just couldn't vibe. It didn't fit with me for this time, at least.
For sure. Real quick, too. Well, first and foremost, is there any other albums that you guys are aware of or wanted to talk about real quick besides the one I know you want to talk about, Daniel? But anything that just came out recently?
So I'll talk about one. It's not really an album; it's an EP. So for the last, I guess I could say 8 to 10 months. Being a huge rock fan, the Foo Fighters have been dropping an EP every like 3 months for the last year and a half, and it's been like 4, 5, 6 tracks continuously for a long time. They just dropped one, I think it was like 2-3 weeks ago, and it just brought me back. So I start vibing. A little bit about me: I start vibing at different times at different things. So I'll be on a rock kick, or I'll be on a chill hip hop or rap, or I mean, I'll even go into country and reggaeton if I needed to. But right now, I'm starting to move back into my rock sense. So a little bit later, I'll be talking about another album that'll be coming up, and I'm just still waiting for what's his name to drop his album.
Joyner Lucas.
Yeah, I'm still waiting for Joyner Lucas.
He
to drop his
just
album.
dropped another track that I was actually going to mention right now too. He made a video for it and put it with another song, but he actually dropped the full track for Revenge. It's a pretty good song. I enjoyed
I've
it.
not had it listen yet, but I'll definitely take a look.
I feel like he's put out his whole album already. I don't know why he just doesn't drop the album.
I don't know. Yeah, he dropped it like 3 days ago.
And then are we not here for it, or are we here for What a Time to Be Alive 2, Drake and Future?
Nah.
I'm here for it. I'm here for it.
I think if you give it some time, it'll definitely grow on me. Especially, it's Drake. Whatever Drake puts out is normally going to just take some time, and it'll eventually get into your playlists.
Have you guys heard Life is Good, the first track that they dropped together? Have you guys heard the
Yes, I have.
Wow. I've never been like I'm not a Future fan again either. So I don't really care about his section or his parts of the song. That's why I was like, dang, that first minute and 30 seconds of Life is Good is the best song I ever heard. And then somebody was like, oh man, that's when Future comes on. Ha, ha, ha. The second song they released, Desires, I think it was what it's called. They released it on SoundCloud. It was leaked, and they just decided to do a full leak with Drake's verse as well. That song was phenomenal too. I think something about them vibing together it works, and I'm definitely up to hearing this album. I just want to hear males need a little bit of toxicity right now. We're down right now, the women are up. But yeah, I'm totally here for like the vibes, the music they bring. It's a great sound, and I'm here for it.
I can definitely side with DJ though, that it might have to just grow on me for a little bit. Like I'm not expecting it. I'm not expecting to like it, but I might find like 2-3 songs that I end up vibing with. Like I remember the first time it was at your birthday, like 4 years ago, you played that Diamonds on Me dancing.
Oh, that's fine. Damn, boy. I was like, you know what I need when I get home.
Like I didn't really like it, but in that environment, it sounded a lot better to me. So maybe I have to listen to it in a certain spot or something like that.
For sure. There's a bunch of stripper songs, I feel like, but I mean, whatever.
Hey, strippers need their songs too. What else are they going to dance to?
Speaking of strippers, since I'm pretty sure we're done with music, have you guys heard about the Stripper Bowl?
No.
Okay.
I'm married, sir.
I won't get into it, but this will kind of segue into like a quick little Super Bowl discussion. So apparently Quality Control, which is like the record label that has is like they only manage I think Cardi B, Migos, and like Little Baby,
Trash,
Lil Yachty. I ain't gonna say trash, but just not my cup of tea. Not my cup of tea, right? So apparently they're trying to hold an annual stripper bowl. I think this is the second one that they've done, and apparently it's like a big fiasco. It's like terrible contract deals. Like a lot of people are making jokes about it. There's a lot of videos of like girls, like a bunch of girls at like the airport and stuff, like waiting to get a flight or something. It's just a whole big mess. I'm not a huge fan of strip clubs either. Personally, I just thought that was mention the stripper music, and that's the first thing that popped into my head. Moving on from the Stripper Bowl into the Super Bowl, what do you guys think about the Super Bowl? How about those 49ers, huh?
I was surprised, actually.
You thought they were going to win too?
I thought they were.
I wanted Kansas City to win, but I thought the 49ers were going to win, though.
Is it too much to ask to have a high-scoring Super Bowl? Like, just once. Like we have the best offense, and they scored what 30-some
It's
points.
what defense wins championships. So that's never going to happen.
The 49ers had the number like 3 or 2 defense in the NFL. So, I mean, it only made sense. I thought
if it's high scoring, it's going to be one-sided. That's the only way.
I agree with that. But I 100% thought. I mean, this is just Shanahan doing Shanahan things. He lost, what was it, 28-3? The 28-3 lead versus the Patriots, and now he just lost a 20-10, which 20-10 is not a big lead, but they didn't score for the whole second half.
I wouldn't say it's only coaching too, because Garoppolo had some screw ups too during that. It was final 2 drives.
It was definitely the coach, because I was watching. I don't know if you guys are watching right before halftime. They had a minute and a half, and they just let the clock run for a minute before they took a timeout and didn't even run a play.
Yeah, they definitely could have scored.
That pass the kiddo and he gets a penalty, and everyone's like, "Oh, we're out of time now." Well, of course, if you just wasted a minute, like what did we do here?
I definitely told the people that I went to watch Super Bowl with. I definitely said if the 49ers score before halftime, they'll win the Super Bowl, because they would have scored. They would have had all the momentum. They got the ball back. They could have Shanahan, even as bad of a. I mean, I feel bad bashing Shanahan, but it was terrible coaching. I felt like I was.
It definitely was not the best coaching.
I felt like I was watching the Charger game. That's how bad it was.
I just don't think it was only his fault. That's all.
Yeah, it was.
Jimmy Garoppolo definitely had some terrible passes too.
He did.
He definitely contributed to that loss. I think, if anything, more of a showing of the run game at the towards the end right there, instead of just doing pass play action and then maybe one run every couple set of downs, would have helped a lot more in their favor versus hey, let's just throw these fucking terrible passes.
It just felt like if there was obviously now we're looking at it back, it's like, okay, if they would have done this, if they would have done that.
Yeah, for sure.
It's just they were gashing them on run plays. Their run plays were 14, 15 yards. It wasn't just like, oh, I'm going to get 3 yards here, 4 yards here. Moser and Coleman were destroying them on the run game. The Chiefs have been notorious for not having any linebackers at all. So once they got to that second level, they went against Sorensen and Honey Badger. That's it. That's all that KC had. So I do agree that Garoppolo has a hand in it, obviously, but I think the coaching could have been definitely better in the second half. There's no way you get a pick 6 on Patrick Mahomes and not capitalize.
That was ridiculous. Once I saw that, and I was like, well, if you're not going to capitalize on this moment, you're not trying to win the Super Bowl. That's a wrap.
We haven't even talked about the best part of the Super Bowl, the halftime show.
Oh, wow.
The Latin... The
Latin community must be so proud. That's all I'm going to say.
Amazing. It was the best halftime show we've had ever.
I love Latin Americans. You guys are beautiful people. I hope to see more of you in the future. I hope to see more of J-Lo in the future, as well as more of Shakira in the future.
Shakira did better than J-Lo. Shakira did better than J-Lo.
Look, we're not going to get into that right now. I'm not trying to dive into that monster.
When you realize there was 2 50-year-old women shaking their butts on your screen and you were watching it.
Yeah.
Proudly. My God-given right as an American.
I was 14 when Hips Don't Lie came out.
Man.
And them hips still in
college are the MVPs of the Super Bowl right there, buddy.
What did he say? What did you say?
I said silicone.
Oh, that's a lot of working out. Maybe J-Lo, but I think
Shakira is just in shape.
Yeah, I think she's in great shape. But I mean, who am I?
She is a gypsy too.
I definitely ain't in shape, so it don't matter to me. They look better than I do. That's for dang sure. Moving on from there, before I move on any further really quick, I just want to say a quick congratulations to Tyler, the Creator, for Best Hip Hop Album. It's his first Grammy Award, and that's pretty much all I have to say. It's been a long time coming, and I'm glad he was able to get a shine, even though he took away shine from other people, other great albums, other great rap albums that came out. But still, kudos to him. He should have got Best Album personally to me, or been in the Best Album category versus the rap category. But it is what it is, and that's how the Grammys work. But congratulations to Tyler, the Creator. Moving on from there,
that performance though, you got to mention that performance. That was one of the best things I've ever seen. We felt it live, bro. That is some different energy is there. Some different energy.
Some people just have a different stage presence.
I mean that spot at the end where he just falls into the pit. I didn't even see that coming, bro. I was like, what's he doing? And oh my God.
He had Charlie Wilson and Boyz II Men singing his song, for real this time. I was like, what? Man, y'all could make a little album, just sing Tyler Creator songs with these guys. This could be a whole new album.
Wow.
But finally, though, let's get into this movie stuff. There's a lot of good things coming out, a lot of good news, right? First and foremost, trailers galore. We got a Spiral trailer from the Book of Saw. Looks pretty interesting. We got a Morbius trailer. We got a Black Widow trailer, or a new Black Widow trailer. We got a Fast 9 trailer. Falcon, Winter Soldier, WandaVision, Loki trailer. Brooklyn Nine-Nine is coming back with season 7. I think it came out today. It's a lot coming out, man, and I'm here for it. First and foremost, like I said before earlier, we've been gone for a little bit, so we're going to have to backtrack a little bit. Let's start with the Morbius trailer, right? So a Morbius trailer. Obviously, it's a Spider-Man villain. He's a little vampire guy. Could have sworn he had like little suckers on his hands. I thought that was his thing.
Yeah.
But whatever they're going to do, I'm sure it's going to be cool. Let's start with the coolest thing that we saw in there. Was that there was a Spider-Man reference in there that said murderer, which makes it seem that this movie will be a part of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. If that is the case and they're combining these universes, I'm here for it. I'm ready for it. I'm ready for all the Marvel characters to be back under one roof and just to have an ever-expanding universe that never quits.
Well, who's the Kevin Feige? Didn't he write it off as it's not going to be a part of the universe, though?
That's what we were all told, that Sony was going to have their own Spider-Verse.
Yeah, because they have a Spider-Verse right now.
Yeah, that was going to be their own thing, and that Spider-Man was going to remain with whatever. Supposedly, they said Tom Holland might appear or cameo in the Venom movie. That didn't happen. That they were saying maybe in the next one or whatever, which would be cool either way. If you want to take him from here and just put him in his own universe, that's great, because it is the Spider-Man characters or villains, so Spider-Man should be a part of that. But the way they're making it look right now, if they're talking about he's a murderer, and they're saying at the end of, spoiler alert, at the end of Spider-Man Far From Home, he is perceived to be a murderer, and people know who he is. So if that is the case, this syncs up perfectly, and we're in there. We're in there like swimwear, and you can't ask for nothing else. You excited for it, Daniel? You've seen the Spider-Man movies, right?
I'm a little excited for it. The whole time I was looking at that trailer, I thought it was going to be another Underworld movie, and I was like, no, not again.
A new Underworld meets Blade type of shit.
I know, right?
That was the next Blade trailer. That's what that was.
Well, that's coming. That's on the way too soon, but not quite yet. Next on this list, let's go with the Black Widow Super Bowl spot. Thought it was super dope. We're getting a lot of action in this movie. Taskmaster is going to be a phenomenal villain, I think. Seeing him kick up the shield like Captain America and all that, I'm excited to see it, just because like. The first thing I thought of when I saw him kick up the shield was, now at Comic-Con, you're not just going to see Captain America's shields. You're going to start seeing Taskmaster shields too.
Oh, yeah. Well, Comic-Con is going to be, obviously, it's going to have a whole bunch of different people that are going to join onto these especially new cosplays of people that comes out. For me, I'm excited because we haven't had a Marvel movie since Spider-Man. I know it feels like it's been forever, but that was like what, October-ish time frame where we had the last one?
That was even October. Avengers Endgame came out in May or April, and then Spider-Man came out like 2 or 3 months later.
So like I'm ready to move on to the next phase completely. I feel as though with this next movie, I kind of want to see it because it kind of fills in a lot of the blanks. It's more filling in the things that happened while she was on that hiatus portion.
Yeah.
But I'm ready to move forward and start moving towards that next
Eternals.
Yeah, basically moving towards Eternals, the next cosmic threat, the next world threat. Yeah, basically knowing what's going on, because I know that for this next year or two, it's going to be more of those building blocks that we had with Iron Man 1 and Captain America when the first one came out, and like all these movies that sort of built the foundation to where we were at the 10-year point. Mm-hmm. And it kind of sucks having to start over again, but I kind of want to see where they go with it. It makes me think, are we going to get Kang? Are we going to get, I'm forgetting his name already, the damn World Eater. Galactus. It's always like, what are we going to get next? So that's what I'm more interested towards. Not that I'm not going to watch Black Widow. Definitely going to go watch it, but I'm ready to move on from the old characters, I guess you can say.
Yeah, definitely. Falcon, Winter Soldier, WandaVision, Loki trailer. What do you guys think about that little super trailer they had? It was, as soon as I saw that shield, and I knew what was going on, and I was like, "Be quiet." I saw Falcon throw the shield, and I was like, "We're here, boys. This is what we've been waiting for. Black Captain America, we're here."
Yeah, I was sitting there watching it with some people from my church, and the whole time I was just like, "I'm never gonna get to watch any of this because I don't have Disney Plus." But it looks good. But a lot of the people were confused at what was happening naturally, I guess, because they're older, for the most part, at church and all that. But I was very excited to see Black Captain America, because I totally forgot that happened, and I was just like, "Oh yeah, I remember now." So I was like, oh, I want to see this. So I might get Disney Plus just for these series, maybe.
Yeah, it looks like they're just leading into new Avengers. Captain America, the Falcon version or whatever. Thor with Jane Foster is in it. You know, it's definitely looking like it's leading towards that direction, and I'm super excited for it. WandaVision looks like it's going to be amazing.
I kind of feel as though WandaVision. So the biggest thing that I'm looking forward to is obviously the reintroduction of what the X-Men would bring to the table, because we're still waiting for obviously them to bring everything now that they've acquired all these rights. And obviously we know that there's this one storyline where Wanda says no more mutants, gets rid of all the mutants. Well, now we're thinking there's obviously people are saying rumors and stuff. What if she begins the mutants by saying, instead of no more mutants, I want more mutants, you know? So I'm kind of trying to see where they're going with this. Obviously, in the trailer, you get to see a spot of her pregnant and of Wanda's children, which are two other mutants in the storyline. So we'll definitely see what they have to come.
Speaking of mutants, really quick, just want to give a quick shout out to Sunny for sending us the information that apparently it looks like there's rumors that Rogue will be an adversary for Captain Marvel in her second film. That'd be cool. I don't know if a lot of you are aware of this, but the reason why like old school Rogue had that streak in her hair, that white streak in her hair, it was because she had taken some of the powers from. Or no, that she could fly, she had super strength, was because she had taken the powers of Captain Marvel. So if that's the case, and cool, I more than welcome it. Something about her being a part of a terrorist group or whatever. She's going to come appear as a villain in this version, which is, she has done that in the past, appearing as a villain first, and then of course joins the X-Men or whatever team, and I'm super excited for that. And then last but not least, as far as trailers is concerned, or no, there's two more actually. I'm sorry. Spiral from the Book of Saw with Chris Rock. Samuel L. Jackson is going to be starring in it. It looks like Samuel L. Jackson is going to be Chris Rock's father. They both appear to be playing detectives. I don't know if they have any scenes together, but Samuel L. Jackson's time in the film or the trailer looks like it's like really dark and blue, like a blue hue, and Chris Rock's looks like more like a like sunny and kind of like bright-ish or whatever, you know. It looks interesting. It looks like it's going to be a mystery. I don't know if either of them will actually be affected by it. There's like one scene for Chris Rock where it looks like he's about to be like he's in somewhere, trapped somewhere, or whatever. I think there was a glimpse of like the bathroom that they used in like the first Saw and like some other like tidbits from other movies or whatever. But overall though, I'm super excited to see it. It looks like they're going to be coming across like a lot of like crime scenes of like, and then like we're going to like have flashbacks like what happened to this person or something like that. I'm sure a lot of people are looking forward to this movie. I'm actually surprisingly looking forward to this movie because I feel like comedians have a weird way with horror for some reason. I don't know if it's because like tragedy happens to them, so they know how to explain tragedy, but Jordan Peele's been doing a phenomenal job with his horror films. I'm sure that, you know, Chris Rock will do great with his horror franchises, however he does it. I know he pitched it. He's the executive producer on the film, and he's starring in it. So, I mean, you know, we'll see how good that goes. And last but not least, for the trailers, Fast 9. I don't think anybody was expecting this. I'm just kidding. A lot of people were expecting it. But spoiler, in case you haven't seen the trailer, Han is alive, folks. Yes, you heard that correct. Han survived that car explosion fire thingy. I don't know how he did it, but he did it. I'm here for it. Whatever. Han is a great addition to the cast. A re-addition to the cast. I know they've been talking. The guy who plays him, he's been saying that, you know, he takes the role very seriously, and he's happy to be come back. He says it's like a family reunion, and I'm sure they feel that same way about him, welcoming him back into the fray of the franchise, and it's going to be stoked. And then after this one, I think the 10th one is supposed to be the final film for the whole franchise. So we'll see. No guarantees in that department, but we'll see. And apparently the plot seems to be John Cena is Vin Diesel's half brother. Yeah. I don't know how that's even possible, but okay. But and then they're like the equivalent of each other.
Papa was a Rolling Stone.
Wow. Yeah. So they're like somehow the equivalent, and then like I think one of them catches a car or something. I was like, what is going on here? At this point, they're probably going to fight the Avengers. We'll see. No, you know, the ridiculous stunts, but I'm pretty stoked about it. I'm not like a huge Fast and Furious fan, but I like to go see like every one, you know, just like to be up to date with the films.
At this point, I've seen every single Fast and Furious film, so it's kind of like there's no reason to not watch the next one.
Exactly. That's exactly how I feel. And shout out to Brooklyn Nine-Nine. It's back. I don't know why I thought it was canceled, but apparently it was not canceled. Season 7 is starting today, I believe. Make sure y'all check that out. And last but not least, just really quick, just some quick game news. Avengers and Cyberpunk games have been pushed back to September for any of you guys who've been waiting for that or have like been looking for any of that info. Final Fantasy VII, I don't know if I had the wrong information, but I do know that it was pushed back to April now. So just so you guys aren't waiting for that. And then season 4 of Apex Legends just started this week, as well as the 1-year anniversary. And Smash Bros has announced that they're doing a season 2 for their fighter pass, bringing us 6 brand new additional fighters. So I'll be looking forward to that, gamers. And then last but not least, before we end the podcast, something you're messing with, guys. Danny, you want to start it off? I know you're dying. You're itching over there.
Yes, I have been dying to give this person their love. I hope she hears this one day. But I definitely want to give a great shout out to Wynne. If anybody who doesn't know, that's the chick that everybody thought was Eminem's daughter.
Winnie the Pooh?
No. Close, but no. But she was, her album dropped in 2019, but I didn't find it until like a couple of weeks ago. So I was listening to it, and I immediately hit up Brandon and hit up Joey, and I was like, yo, you got to check this out. And, you know, of course, Brandon was just like, I ain't trying to hear all this.
I gave her props. I did give her props. I said, she sounds good. I'm just not here for it. That's all.
But okay, well, we'll run with that, I guess. And then, but she's a great rapper. She has I feel like she's better than any of the female rappers we have out now. I mean that's including Cardi B, including
Rhapsody.
I was gonna say that's a very shallow pool there. There's not a lot there.
Come on. I'm trying to give these other people a little bit of love.
I feel like female rappers that can really rap are not at the top of the totem pole, except for like maybe Nicki Minaj, but she hasn't really showcased her like serious lyrical ability in years. I feel like it's more like just fun pop music. It's not like she's not trying to rap circles around people or like trying to battle anybody. She's just making music at this point. And then of course, you know, City Girls, Cardi B, folks like that. It's cool. It's cool music, whatever. It's fun at the clubs and stuff, but it's not like
trash.
Like Wynne, when I listen to her too, kind of like you said, it's lyrical. It's cool.
I'll definitely give it a shot though. Yeah. I'll look it up after we're done with this.
She had a feature from JID, by the way. So I'd listen to it. It was cool. I wasn't here for it.
And Dame Dollar.
There you go, Dame Dollar, Damian Lillard. Yup.
Wow. You said Damian Lillard. Wow.
What about you, DJ?
So some of the things that I've been messing with. So just like I talked about Foo Fighters, they definitely just dropped a bunch of EPs. An album that I'm looking forward to on the 7th of this month. So like tomorrow, or I don't even know what day it is. The 7th is Avenged Sevenfold. They're dropping their first album in 4 years. And for me, I'm a huge metal fan. I've listened to metal since I was growing up, and it's one of the things I've been really falling back into since I've been here. Since I've been in San Diego, I've been listening to a lot more hard rock, a lot more heavy metal. Definitely fell back on Disturbed's album and Slipknot's new album. I missed out on a whole bunch in 2019 that I really just wasn't vibing with at the time, but now I'm trying to catch back up. So I'm definitely super excited about their new album, especially since their last album was a concept. And then one other trailer dropped that we did not talk about, which is something that I was really excited about because I've been watching Disney Plus as much as I can with my kids. But the Clone Wars, the final season of the Clone Wars just dropped. And that's not dropped yet. It comes out like on the 14th, I believe, or it comes out soon at the end of this month, end of this month. And I've literally this whole 3 weeks that I've been here in San Diego, I've watched every single episode with my son. So I'm really excited to look back. It's a great
series.
Yeah, it is an amazing series. It is some of the best
writing in Star Wars.
Yes, yeah. It's some of the best Star Wars storyline we have, period. So I definitely am looking forward to that final season, finishing it up. And also, did you hear that rumor that George Lucas has stated that he will come back to do another trilogy if he has full creative control?
Can we just bury it? Just bury it.
Make Star Wars great again.
Make Star Wars great again.
Just bury it.
Please. Make lightsabers great again, because they don't cut people no more. They just give them a little hit, and that's it.
And last but not least for me, issue boy Taylor B ended it off. As many of you guys know, I'm a pretty big nerd, and that's actually one of the greatest things about adulthood is that you can kind of just be into whatever you're into. Something that I've been into a lot recently is there's a series on YouTube called Power Rangers Unworthy, and it's basically about spoiler alert for anybody who actually doesn't want to watch it. A bunch of people got together and they made a fan film, and it ended up being pretty popular, and a lot of people who like cosplay and are kind of like popular on like Instagram and YouTube and stuff with their own fan made stuff, they decided to do like a crossover event with them. And so there's this like thing called the Arbiter. He's the original Ranger. He thinks that all Power Rangers are unworthy, and he goes around to all these different dimensions and universes, killing Power Rangers. That's like his thing. And where the story takes place in a specific universe, and we're trying to watch the Power Rangers of this universe defeat the Arbiter. They're a Green Ranger. Of course, there's a regular cast. You got a white dude is the leader, the Red Ranger. You got a nerdy dude. This one is the black dude, which is cool.
Is he the Black Ranger?
No, the nerdy black dude is the Blue Ranger in this one, kind of like Billy was, but except like kind of like in the movie, the movie that came out recently, which they do like a little they do like a little recap about that too. Which was kind of cool. You actually see Power Rangers die. The Green Ranger is a woman, which is really dope. Like seeing a female play the Green Ranger, like the sixth Ranger or whatever, was actually really cool. She did a great job. I feel like I wish she. Spoiler alert once again, really quick. I wish she wouldn't have died, unfortunately. But it was cool to see her pass on her power to the Pink Ranger. And now we have the Petro Ranger, which is like her armor super dope or whatever. We have like a Chrono Ranger who has like a robot arm because he like came to like help them with the Arbiter. Another black guy that's another cosplayer. He, I guess, is joining the cast, and he's on his way to meet up with them. And he is like a black guy who's also the Black Ranger. He had they actually released their own little like 3-minute clip with him. It was like a test thing or whatever. And he fought some putties. The Arbiter came, and then they teleported him out of there to get him out, to safety or whatever. So like I said, it's super dope. It looks really good. I can't wait for episode 4 and 5. It's a little series that the guy's working on, and it's super dope. Definitely check it out if you're into Power Rangers at all. It's probably like besides that, I think not Sam Raimi. The Power Rangers, a famous director made a Power Rangers film on YouTube, and it got taken down at first, but it got brought back up. And it's like that one's like super dark though, and it's obviously like a way higher budget.
The one with guns and stuff.
Yeah, it's obviously a way higher budget, but this this little fan film is still just as good. Not as high of a budget, obviously, but it's it's just people in the community coming together to help them out, and they did a phenomenal job in my opinion. Definitely check it out.
You really think they're gonna beat the Arbiter from Halo though?
Wow, that's actually the first thing I thought of, but it does not seem like they can have the ability to beat him at all. I don't know how they'll do it, but I can't wait to see them do it if they do it. But that's about it. This has been another installment of Culture by the Uncultured. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at Culture by the Uncultured. That's going to be one word. Also, don't forget to follow us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, SoundCloud, and subscribe to us on YouTube. Whatever platform you're listening to us on, make sure you follow or subscribe, please. And that's going to be at Culture by the Uncultured, and that's going to be multiple words, so spaces in between that. Rate us on Apple Podcasts, 5 stars hopefully, and leave us some comments on YouTube. Also, be sure to catch us on our website at www.culturebytheuncultured.com. Catch you guys next time. Peace.
No Vaseline.
Wow.